screen. I don't know why I look so white, like a ghost. Something to do with the lighting, whatever. Okay, let's start with this. We're gonna lose the election. Okay? Sorry about that. I mean, it is what it is. I can't sit here and tell you we're not gonna lose when we're probably gonna lose by a decent margin. The reason why I know we're gonna lose is Pennsylvania, and I'll show you that here in a second. Let's just pull up the screen here. Here's Pennsylvania. Now we're down statewide by a small margin, but there's only there's still quarter of the state back to vote. The problem is Philadelphia County, among others. I mean, there's probably other problems, but as you can see, we've got about 2/3 of the vote in there, and Harris is winning that by about 300,000. She needs to net about 470,000 from this county, which means that in the remaining, I guess it's about 200,000 votes. She needs to get like the vast majority of those. Let me put it another way. Trump has 118,000 votes, as you can see there. We go back to 2020. Trump ended up with 132 and lost the state overall by about 70-something thousand votes. Problem is, these numbers indicate that he's going to pick up well above that number. I mean, it's actually surprising how similar the overall vote totals are to 2020. Also, there's some troubling signs in Michigan and Wisconsin. Now look, I don't want to say we're absolutely 100%, no question about it, going to lose, but we're probably going to lose, okay? I would say 85-15, 90-10, Trump wins this election. Probably takes, he's probably going to take Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania. That alone puts him in almost winning position. Democrats probably take New Mexico, but then in Minnesota, New Hampshire, Maine, except for Maine 2, which Trump will take, so that puts him at 267. Then he just needs to win one more of these states. Actually, Alaska will do it for him, and then he wins. Then it's just a question of how much of his margin. Even if the Democrats won Nevada, Wisconsin, and Michigan, he's probably going to win Arizona. He's probably going to get a comfortable margin. And frankly, the way things are going, the way the trends are going, I think he's going to win Michigan and Wisconsin, and maybe even Nevada. I think this might be the map at the end of the night. 312 to 226. Very similar to his 2016 map. Now, the reason that I wanted to come on and stream isn't to really go over that, even though I could certainly do that in more detail. I mean, I could go back into Pennsylvania and analyze all of the counties and tell you about, we could talk about, let's just do one more county because I want you to feel comfortable with this projection. Allegheny County is 90% in. You can see Harris is up 403 to 271 for a net 132,000-ish. Going back to 2020 here, Allegheny County, Biden nets 118 plus 30 is 148, okay? So Harris needs to net about 148 if the numbers are similar. And right now, again, she's netting 129, maybe 132, 133. So yeah, there's a little bit of vote left. She could do that, but it's getting tough. And in the meantime, as you may have heard from Steve Kornacki on MSNBC or elsewhere, right now Harris is netting a mere 3,000 votes here in Lackawanna County. If you go back to 2020, Biden netted about 9,000 and 9,500 votes there. So she's down relative to Biden about 6,500 votes in that county. That, in addition to the weakness that we're seeing in Philadelphia County so far. We'll see. But right now, Biden won Philadelphia County by 470,000 votes. And again, there's still votes to be counted, so we don't know exactly how it's going to pan out. But Harris is only up by 300,000 votes. She needs to massively increase that. That means of the remaining third of the vote, even if you take 535 or 30, let's call it 536,000 as 2/3, that means that there's another 280 to go, or something like that. So of the 280, she would need to net in that group quite a bit. I don't rule it out because there were indications of long lines in Pennsylvania and turnout in excess of 2020, but I just don't. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Let's see, we got ready. Okay, so look, let me do two things on this stream. I'm going to do two things. First of all, the first thing I'm going to do is if Harris has any chance whatsoever, I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. She needs to rack up the margin in Philadelphia County, hopefully equal or tie what Biden did in Allegheny. Maybe pick up some votes in suburban Harrisburg. Dauphin County, she's netting about 9,000 here. Biden netted 12,000 there. So, I mean, again, we're 3,000 votes short there. Then again, it's only 55% in. So she needs a good election day turnout. The reason that I get a little bit sad or depressed about election day turnout is because it typically favors Republicans. This cycle is being a little bit different, and it's weird, but, oh, and this, by the way, is called, this should be election night coverage round 2. Okay, let's talk about, okay, I'm getting some questions here. Sorry about this, guys. Let me talk about a couple things. Let's talk about the Senate. The Senate, we'll go over to this map here. Here's the problem with the Senate. I can guarantee this one is far more certain than the House, or than the presidency. Okay, so the Senate, we're gonna get, in the following races, it's pretty clear what's gonna happen here, okay? Let's see here. Why can't I? Okay, I come up. It's okay. So we've got Moreno winning Ohio, as you can see here. They filled that in. And we've got Jim Justice winning in West Virginia. So the Republicans have already picked up 2 Democratic Senate seats when the Democrats had a 52 to 48 majority. Now, even assuming the Democrats run the rest of the table, win their Arizona, Nevada, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania seats, they would have to win Montana, which is currently not looking good. And even if they won Montana, that would nearly get them back to 49, and then they have to win Nebraska, and there's an independent there. And so if they got to Nebraska independent, the independent could maybe be convinced to caucus with the Democrats. It's the only marginal path back to 50 for Democrats, and then they need the presidency on top of that. So right now, the Senate, in my opinion, is looking like it's probably lost by a margin of something like what's on the screen right now. If not 52 to 48, then I could see this Nebraska, this race here going to Osborne, who's an independent. That's like the one that I'm not sure about. But the others, even if the Democrats do well in these other states, and it's not clear that they will, 48-52 Republican. Or maybe at best 49-51 Republican. Unless Tester pulls a miracle and we win Nebraska both at the same time, which is very unlikely. Now let's talk about the House of Representatives. I have a whole list of competitive House seats here, so let's go through a few of them. And the best way to do this, let me do this on the other screen, and I'll pull them up one at a time. So let's look at Virginia 1, or Virginia 7, I guess. Yeah. So Virginia 7, and bear in mind that 80% of the statewide vote is in, but the districts are a little bit different. 76% of this district is in, and we do have the Democrat winning there by about 2 points right now. So that one might go Democrat. North Carolina 1, let's take a look at, I should show you this, sorry. Virginia 7, Bendman is about, 2 points over his opponent. Let's go to North Carolina 1. North Carolina 1, it looks very close. It's about a point, and it's 83% in. That one could go either way, honestly. I have no idea what's going to happen there. And then next one is Maine 2. That one I'm pretty sure we're going to be okay in, but let's check it just to be sure. Maine 2 is... Oh, no, not looking good. Well, that's only 23% though. That one's really early, so let's come back to that one. Michigan 7. This Michigan ones will tell us a lot. These are going to be early though. Michigan is taking a while. Michigan is only 37% in statewide. But if we go down to 7 and 8, both of which are swing districts, we can see that 7 is looking really good for that Republican candidate there. And then 8 is, I mean, it's only 20% in, but it's pretty close. So I would say that pretty good chance Michigan 7 swings Republican. Bear in mind that's an R+2 district to begin with. Decent chance. This one comes down to the wire, Michigan 8. Let's look at Pennsylvania 7, 8, and 10. Now these we should have a pretty good idea about. Alright, so Pennsylvania 7. So the Democrats behind there by about 2.5 votes, or 2.5 points. And that's an R+2 district, so that one isn't surprising. Pennsylvania 8, they're behind by a smaller margin. It's like a point there. Makes sense. That one, well, that one's actually a more partisan district. So that one, the incumbent Cartwright is doing better per capita, but 90% is in on that one, so I'm not optimistic about that one. Pennsylvania 10, we've got a Democrat well in the lead there, so I'm pretty confident we're going to win that. That would be a pickup, so that's, you know, that's a good sign there. So even if we lost one, that would make it up. Here's the deal, though. Here's what I'm going to show you. The reason... Oh, I lost